Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, it's a how-to. So how do you clean this into that? So first we're going to start off by evaluating what's in your fridge. Like, do you have a lot of like miscellaneous stuff that you kind of forgot to cook, or is there stuff that maybe lapsed, expired, you just didn't get a chance around to cooking it, or whatever it may be? So we are going to completely change this horrible, unorganized fridge into the fridge you've seen earlier. First, what I do is I just basically start taking out all the stuff that's in the fridge. That means all the food that I get to go through and see if it's even worth keeping. We try not to waste food a lot, so that's why we order the HelloFreshBox.com popping up now, so that we can use every meal. We used to shop at the supermarket and we were just wasting products because either it was crap and there was no real menu to anything that we bought. So we bought like a lot of onesies. So things that could be cooked with something else, but not, but not actually cooked as a whole meal. So we decided to go back to the box. We did it earlier, but when we was in our last apartment, but it really didn't, it really didn't. That's my oven saying, please, water. So it's really sensitive. It's one of those electric stove tops. So anything you put on it that's liquid, it recognizes like, please, get it off me. So I then take out all the shelves and put them in a soapy dish solution in my sink. All of them. Because as we know, things get sticky from like putting stuff on it, food items. I completely take out the bottom drawer so I can go through it and organize what fruits and vegetables, which I usually keep my fruits out of the fridge. I usually keep it in a bowl right there. But my vegetables, they can expire, especially if they're fresh, which a lot of our vegetables are, because they come with the box. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, I'm actually just wearing my Asian girl top that I got from Zara. I think it was like $6.99 or €10 or something at the time. This is artificial crab meat because I cannot eat shellfish. I became allergic to that on my 18th birthday. I still believe it's the curse of my mother because, tidbit, I was pregnant at 18. Didn't have the baby, of course, because, complications, but I couldn't eat any seafood after that. And it was my 18th birthday. So my mother was like, that's what happens, you're like cursed or whatever, because, you weren't supposed to get pregnant that young. But God was forever watchful. He, said, it's just not your time right now. It will be later on. And I'm very blessed for the opportunity to be a mom. But sidetrack, this is just artificial crab meat that I bought because I like crab. I like lobster. I like shrimp. I like all these things because I ate them all my life. But when I became allergic, of course, I had to stop eating them. But at the supermarket on post, they have like all this artificial stuff for like people who are allergic. So I got a big thing of crab meat, and then I just separated them into 2 Ziploc bags so I can just kind of throw it on some salad or fry it, whatever. So I'm going to continue to take all this stuff out. Things like, I keep my lemons once I cut them in a Tupperware to keep them fresh. I always put one of these in my fridge. It is a freeze and freezer Arm & Hammer buy two for the price of one. That's some kind of promotional deal. But I always get these when I go shopping at the supermarket, and these are like lifesavers, especially if you have like leftovers to a meal that you don't want to throw away because you know you're probably going to eat it in the next 2 days. This keeps the smell of that meal from attacking all your other produce in your fridge. So definitely invest in these. You know, things like this that I can probably throw away. It says to 2021 3/28, so to the end of this month I'll probably just end up throwing it away. It's just some feta and oil. We like feta cheese, some butter, and a couple of other things. So you see, I have two in my fridge. I particularly put two in my fridge. You do not need to, unless you have a huge fridge. Obviously, you see my fridge is not that big, but I always put two in. You can literally put one of these in and you'll be fine. So we're gonna continue to take out the rest of the shelves. Top shelf is always hard to take out because it conflicts with the side shelves. So turn you so you can see. So now all the shelves are out. I'm gonna do this section first, and then of course clean out these little trays. Oat milk, love that. I'm not a big fan of milk, so I drink oat milk for a lot of my shakes or smoothies. My husband actually started using the oat milk for his coffee because he was just too lazy to go buy milk. I don't know. So he started using my oat milk, and he was just, I need to buy milk because I'm tired of using your oat milk for coffee. Ain't nobody tell you to use it. Take your butt to the store. So he eventually went, guys, he eventually went to the store and got his milk. Like, yeah. Caviar, which I found out lasts until the end of this year. Did not know that. And my eggs, which as you can see, I'm running low. So everything is cleared out of your fridge. So now you have a clear fridge with nothing in it, which is the basis of our how-to video. So we're going to now clean all the stuff, put everything back, but put it in a way where it's functional and the way you can understand like what's fresh, what kind of needs to be used ASAP, what has a longer fridge life, things like that. These are all important things that you have to consider when you're cleaning out your fridge. Like, I know people just think, oh, you just clean it out and just put stuff back. But then you're right back to where you started, not knowing what's expired, not knowing what to throw away, not knowing if something needs to be used like within the next 2 days, not knowing if you can kind of, you know, push back a meal because it doesn't have such a short fridge life, things like that. So we're going to start washing our shelves, getting all that food that's probably been sitting on it off. And Then we're going to dry them off, put them back. These things. Well, we're not gonna completely dry them off. We're kind of just going to let them lay, because the next thing is cleaning out the fridge. So I just clean out the fridge. I get some antibacterial soap. You can find this at pretty much any corner store if you live in the city, or Walmart, Target, pretty much any place. And I just wipe out, clean out the fridge, because yeah, so it gets really, really dirty, and unfortunately, doing this is not something I do every time, like every week, even though you probably should be taking an inventory of your fridge every week. And these come off, isn't that cool? I do straighten out my fridge every week, just to make sure that I'm keeping informed of if things are expired, making sure nothing's molding in my fridge, things like that, which is important, because keeping an eye on your food in your fridge is about taking inventory of your health. You don't want to be eating something that obviously you shouldn't be eating, because it is no longer good. So you have to make sure that you're at least surveying, that's a very good word for it, surveying your fridge at least once a week to make sure that you're staying informed of what is in your fridge and what needs to probably be taken out or replaced. That's another thing. You need to know what to replace in your fridge. If you don't really pay attention to what's in your fridge, how will you know what ran out or what probably needs replenishing because it's running low? This is how-to videos more than just cleaning a fridge and putting stuff back. It's also just giving a little reminder that these are things that may seem tedious but are important of keeping a clean health. You know, whether you're a vegetarian or a meat eater or you're a vegan, things still have a tendency to go on in this fridge because you're not paying attention. So making sure that you take inventory of your fridge at least once a week for these things, restocking, evaluating food expiration, taking inventory of things running low, making sure that nothing is contaminating other things. These things are important. Like I said, I don't clean my fridge every week, but I do check my fridge at least once a week to make sure that I know what's going on in my fridge. The same way where you want to know what's going on in your house. You want to know if you turn the light on, it's going to work. If you take a shower, you're going to have hot water. I mean, these things we don't really think about because we're like, you just automatically go on kind of like autopilot, right? And you just assume these things are already taken care of, or, by common sense, if you pay your light bill, you think your lights work, right? So, but your fridge is a little bit different. The only thing you can be certain is that, and that's not even a certainty, is that the light bulb, if you have one and it works, that your fridge will have light. But that can always change. What if there's a power outage on your block, or there's an electrical shortage in your house and you didn't know about it? Your fridge could be off and your food could be sitting in the dark with no kind of refrigerating filtration going through, or it not getting cold. I mean, if you never go in your fridge, unless you're a person that eats on the go and you travel a lot, which I totally understand, there are those types of people that really don't spend a lot of time at home. They're always on a business trip or doing something, but then they keep very limited things at their house because they're never there. So checking your fridge just to see a thing of baking soda, some mustard, and maybe 2 eggs that probably expired by the time you get to them. It's kind of like, okay, you throw away the 2 eggs, but what do you got? You still got the baking soda and you still got the ketchup. Like, you're not taking inventory because that ain't nothing in there. You ain't got no food, man. But so you kind of just, you're starting from a clean slate, which is totally different than if you're like a majority of us who spends a good percentage of their time when not at work or with their kids or whatever. Even when you're home with your family, you need to be taking inventory of what's in your fridge, because you just never know, and you always want to make sure that you are promoting the best health for yourself and for your family by making sure that nobody's eating expired things, nobody's eating food that was probably gone bad because it's just been sitting in there too long. Nobody really paid attention to it. These things. So doing that is very important. Taking inventory of your fridge. And I'm just basically cleaning this out, getting a nice clean start to start putting stuff back in here the right way. Clean, of course. And we are going to finish with washing our shelves, and then we're going to put everything back, and then you'll see a difference from the way it looked prior to the way it is now. Believe me, it is a huge difference. Another tip, whenever I do get my house, I'm going to make sure that I have a huge sink, because if anybody can relate, cleaning things like this, I mean, my sink is not technically small, but it's too small for me. I'm used to having a really big sink, and this is just not the business. This is not the business. So I am going to start trying to eliminate some of these shelves out of my sink so I can clean the other shelves, because it's quite difficult to try to clean all 5. Yeah. All 5. Had to make sure. I had 5 shelves. Trying to clean all 5 in this small kind of sink. So, voila. I can see through it. That's how you know you're doing it right. So we're gonna start putting these back into the fridge. And we're going to continue washing off our nasty shelves for our fridge. I am so glad I'm doing this how-to video because it's really important to know that you have to maintain a good health, not just doctor-wise, but in all the aspects of your life. Exercising, if anybody's watched my last week, I did an exercise video, I believe, or the week before, and that was really fun. Look forward to another exercise video next week. I got a lot of cool things I'll be using my furniture for to do my reps. And yeah, man, we're gonna be exercising a lot next weekend when we're doing another set of home exercises with everyday furniture. It's called exercise. So it's improvise and exercise. Hashtag exercise. So improvise exercise in your home. And it is something that I'm gonna really start doing and implementing into my show. It's something that I'm passionate about. To not just get thin, because being thin doesn't mean necessarily healthy. We all know that. But to get back into a healthy state with my body, for me and my body to be back on the same accord, because I think COVID kind of took that away from a lot of people, with just being active, getting back to being an active participator of your body. The body needs to be active and it needs to be able to strengthen. And you can't really do that when we're just sitting at home and we're on the couch and, we're kind of just not taking inventory of kind of the things we kind of eat. A lot of us are guilty of that. I'm going to tell you, your girl is. And I just want to get back to a point where me and my body are moving forward instead of becoming stale and stagnant. Because it's very easy to not move and kind of just always in that I'm home, so why do anything kind of mindset. And that mindset transcends into action, which your body translates as, okay, so we're just going to sit here and become unhealthy mind and body. And that's never good, because then you risk, health issues, diabetes and stuff like that, high blood pressure, which I do have, and I am actively trying to lower it, and stuff like that. So this is just a small step of something you can do to help the process for your body, just making sure that you're taking inventory, that you're keeping up to date, one, items in it, and two, that you're taking inventory of what's in your fridge. I mean, that also is a way to make sure that you start trying to eat healthier or better. So let me say healthier, eat better. That's a better definition, because healthy means something different to everyone. We obviously know what consists of eating healthy: more fruits, more vegetables. Well, less fruits, because fruits has our natural sugar. So, you can have fruit, but definitely dark leafy greens, oats, beans are like super, super good for you. But also so you can know kind of like, okay, I cleaned out my fridge and I see what I have. And a lot of this stuff is kind of like junk. A lot of this stuff has no nutritional value. A lot of this stuff is just kind of like binge food. Everybody knows what binge food is. And it kind of gets you thinking like, okay, let me go to the store. You're now acknowledging that what you buy is not exactly what you want to buy or how you feel you want to eat. And being able to take inventory of your fridge once a week will keep you will keep that thought in the forefront, like, oh, I remember I need to go food shopping, and start buying little things. You don't have to go hard body, but you can start buying little things to like move forward in eating better, eating more efficiently for your body's sake, to build energy, to build muscle, to reduce health risks like obesity, heart disease, stuff like that. I'm telling you, it's a really, really, really big deal. And the only way you're going to be able to move in that direction, it takes small steps like this. You really don't think that me doing this show today has anything to do with health, but it all has stuff to do with health. Everything you do, whether it be outside in your knowing or unknowing, unintentional or intentional, things that you do in your life, is either detrimental to your health or beneficial. That's just the way life is. This is a very small piece. This is a very small piece of moving in that forward direction for your health. I mean, like I said, you probably don't think it is, but it is. It really, really is. And you need to be able to make these small changes like this so that like, hey, just going in my fridge once a week and seeing the stuff that's in there is helping me feel better about myself, or helping me realize, all the stuff I buy is not good for me, or, I could start doing small steps and start buying things that are good for me. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference when you're able to go in your fridge and you're happy about the stuff that you eat. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to put my my shelf on. It's not clicking. Bear with me. There it goes. Like I said, it's a big deal. So now we're gonna put everything back, but like I said, we're not just going to throw everything back in there. Everything does have a place. This is Heavy Cream. He makes homemade desserts. They're amazing. So I would like to put my oat milk somewhere else, but I am unable to, due to the fact that my shelves, I don't have a really big fridge. So what I was saying about checking the expiration date, see, this says 06/22. This is a German salsa. I don't like it. It's too sweet. But my husband likes it. So, I keep it. I know that I have 3 eggs here. I need to buy more eggs. This is something I need to take inventory of because I'm running low on eggs. This is kind of dried onions. We use this to cook with. And this expiration date is 08/2021. Keeping that. This is actually mustard, German mustard. You can tell we use a lot of mustard. Well, I do anyway. I like to use mustard until it's gone. Like, I am like my grandfather in that regard. So I have until 11/20/21 to use it. Don't worry, it'll be gone way before that. This is the same thing, but this is Scharfe. So Scharfe Senf. So that's SENF. So Scharfe Senf. It's German word for scharf mustard. Senf is mustard. I have like red energy packs. This stuff is from our box, our HelloFresh box. These, I think, are bad now, which is fine because that's what the point of this is, to take inventory of our stuff. This is jellies. Just rip off the, because I don't need the little, this is just little portable jellies. So I use what I need and that's it. I don't have a big thing of jelly. Kind of wasting a whole jar of jelly. I don't need that. This tomato we had brought to cook with, but forgot because then we had tomatoes come with the box. And it's no longer good. So all these little packs are what come with the HelloFresh box that we ordered, fresh mozzarella, stuff like that. So for meals that we need to cook that we kind of had still from our last Saturday box, I always put on the bottom shelf. So that's telling me and my husband, see, spring onions. That's telling me and my husband, hey, you know, comes with spelt salad, stuff like this. Telling me and my husband, hey, y'all need to cook this. This is, this will go bad soon. So, I just put that meal on the bottom shelf. So I know that that is the next thing to cook. This is just some sausage that I put in a Ziploc bag. I actually don't know if it's still good. It's not, so that's going in trash. Plastic is plastic. And so for to the tomato. It's plastic. These are part of the box meal. That is trash. Move that out your way. Things that we put in my little divider trays. And we use it, but then we don't use all of it, which is fine. Which is totally fine. So we're gonna put this stuff back now, and then that will be today's episode. So we're gonna put the butter back, top shelf, mayonnaise. I don't know why we have two, but that's fine. My hammer, I always put one on top and then one on the bottom. My crab meat, I like to keep inventory of that because even though it's artificial, it can still go bad. 2 packs of cheese. Cheese also goes bad, so I got 3 9.21, which is soon. So I will not be putting this back in the fridge. I will be getting rid of this. See? And it had already molded. Take an inventory, man. It's real. You don't want to be eating moldy cheese. That is not a good look. This is, March 26th. We're still good on this. So cheese. 13th of March. I'm not going to risk it. So that's done. So we got our fajitas and our salad. And now we're going to clean out our tray. I told you I wanted to clean out the tray. So we got some beets, peppers, these gherkins are no longer good. See? The gherkins were bad. Sorry, gherkins. I'm talking in German. Our gherkins is cucumbers, and they were no longer good, and they were ruining other fruits that was in my fruit tray. In my vegetable tray. So I'm just gonna wipe it out, clean it out with some soap, disinfect it a little bit from the cucumbers going bad. And yep, it does make a difference. If you don't check your fridge, you will never know any of this stuff. Things going bad in your fridge, things leaking on other things that shouldn't, are all important to keeping a healthy, a safe health of what you eat. And everybody needs to do that. This is not just me or just the people watching this show. This is something that needs to be done. Especially, not to say that it's more important when you have a family, but if you have a family, it's deadly important because you don't want your children eating something that went bad and that could potentially make them sick, obviously. So that is cleaned out. My bottom tray goes back in there like that. Just wipe off the peppers. I'm actually going to take them out of the plastic, rinse them off, and then I'm going to put them in the drawer. Since in the plastic, I think the plastic was leaked on by the cucumbers. So everything that the cucumbers may have leaked on, I rinse off and I put back in the drawer. So, we are doing very well. Look at that. Doesn't that look so much better? It does. my lettuce. We're good there. It's a spring onion. This is part of that meal that has to be cooked. We're gonna put back our sour creams and stuff. Some cream. I'm gonna put in my other Arm & Hammer. So it's on the second shelf. So my milk, put up top. My plastic containers got a little wet from me washing stuff. My yogurts. My yogurts are good until the 11th. So I better be eating these soon. So let me put it in the shelf where I'll remember that I gotta eat them soon. This can go in the vegetable drawer. And I'll put my yogurts here to remind myself they need to be eaten soon. My lemons, I just keep them until I use them, the other half. Sorry. These are just little German spread cheeses. It comes in like all different types of flavors. This is very popular in Germany for breakfast and lunch because they eat lunch meat with bread, like a dark brown bread at lunch. And they usually have like radishes from their garden, or they have pretty much any vegetable they can eat raw. They'll pick it out from their garden, and you'll usually have that in the summertime, pretty much all summer long. That's that. And then my salsa I just brought, so I know it's good for a while. This tomato is still good. Put that in my vegetable drawer. All right. So my husband had cut up some apples, but they got bad. They turned bad. And now they are trash. So we got some sauces that we need to put up. So we're actually going to do the mustard. Sorry. We're actually going to do the mustards on that shelf, and then my sauces on this one. The caviar. These are no longer good. Those were crackers that I have for my caviar. So we are done with our episode today, and look at how it looks now. Isn't that so much better? You know what you have to cook. You know what is going to expire soon. You know what to keep an eye up on. These are items that depreciate by date really quickly, so you know you either have to eat them within a certain time frame, so you can keep inventory on that. This is stuff that lasts longer, so you don't really have to worry about throwing it away soon. Your vegetable drawer is now cleaned out. Everything in here is fresh and up to date, and you know that you have at least a few days to use it, and that's great. You've thrown away anything that was in here that needed to be expired. This is still good, but I will be finished with this before it's gone. 22nd of March, that'll be trash soon. So that's great. And then all the stuff will move down the shelf. So that is my show today. I hope you got a lot of information. You learned a lot about how to clean out your fridge, but also how to make sure that you're taking inventory of what you put in your fridge, because that's what you put in your body, which ultimately dictates how your health will be. And if you have any questions, as you know, leave your comments below. Follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. And as always, thank you for joining me. Peace.